Hey everybody, Nate here with a little update on the Cell Sword Summer Map Contest 2016. I have been super impressed with the work people did in this contest. As I said before, really love the maps, really love hearing some of the comments about the maps, but I also have some really bad news. And it might not come as much of a surprise to some of you, but there's been a lot of vote spamming and a lot of people disregarding the rule to only vote once. And that happened in round one to some extent, and I was going through and trying to, systematically eliminate ones that were pretty obvious, and had to kind of adjust the voting in round one because of that. I'd never mentioned that, but I did. And in round two, it's still happening. And the more I think about it, I've just kind of been wondering what to do. I do have very clear evidence that this has happened, people admitting it, and I don't necessarily blame the cartographers, I don't necessarily blame some of the artists, but I think that some of their, they've been aware of it, some of them, at least. This has happened to at least 2 of the 3 finalists, quite a bit of vote spamming. Again, whether or not it's their fault, whatever. But I do wish they had spoken out against it a little more when they knew that some of their friends were doing that and said, hey guys, don't do that. But live and learn, I guess. Certainly you could argue shame on me for being so naive to think that people would, voluntarily only vote once. But I guess I had a little too much faith, and perhaps I am a little too naive on that. So, what are we going to do about it? I've thought about having a panel of judges. I've thought about a couple of different ways to do the voting. I've thought about just sweeping it all under the rug and just saying, whatever, here's the prizes. But what I've decided to do is to have a revote between the top 10 maps. There were 10 maps that received a certain number of votes that were quite a bit more than others. And yeah, you could argue there was some vote spamming there, but from what I can see, these are really good maps and probably deserving of going on to a final round, not between 3 this time, but between 10 maps. So this is going to happen Friday. I'll probably open it up for about 12 hours from, I'm thinking, 10 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So give people 12 hours to vote for one of 10 maps. And I will have a more secure system in place. It won't be perfect, there's no way to make sure. So in the end, we just kind of have to live with that as a community of mappers, and as the Cell Sword mapping contest community. We're just gonna have to live with that. But it will be a more secure system at least, and I'm hopeful that people will think twice before trying to vote more than once. All right, so sorry to be the bearer of bad news here. For those top 3, I'm really sorry that you're now kind of back to a bigger pool of maps, I guess. The top 3 maps were really good maps, and the vote spamming might not have had as much of an effect as I think, but in the end we just kind of have to go back to that step and redo it in a more fair manner. So, thanks for bearing with me through the technical issues. I'm sorry for my part and in possibly being too naive. So, yeah, you could say shame on me, but also, shame on those people who decided to disregard a rule that was pretty clearly stated. It's disappointing to say the least. So, see you all Friday. I'll make a new post on Friday with the top 10, and you'll have to wait till then to see who they are. And then Friday, instead of Thursday night, I'm going to announce the winners Friday night. It's probably going to be 11 p.m. Eastern time. I will announce the winners an hour after the voting is finished. And I will also reveal the names of the artists, and we'll kind of celebrate all the awesome work they did and give them a big pat on the back and many rounds of applause. There will be confetti and champagne and all that stuff. All right, everybody take care. You'll see me again soon. Any comments or questions, let me know down below in the comments. Love to hear from you as always.